Well, hello. If you landed here, you landed on Let's Talk News. And I forgot to tell everybody on Instagram that we were going live, but I'll do that in a minute. I hope you all are having a great day. My name's Leticia Remauro, and I am your host. And tonight we're going to be talking about Minnesota. I thought that would be a good idea tonight. We want to talk about the new neighbors that Minnesotans have. And, it's not just Minnesota that welcomes their new neighbors, but Queens and Brooklyn and Manhattan and Philadelphia and Los Angeles. So I thought that we'd just have a little chat about who all these neighbors are and what they do. So, oh, look, my mother is here. Hello, Mama. Good to have you today. And Francine, how are you, left Francine? Thank you for always joining. And Debbie Lebedo, how are you? And Karen, thank you. Wow, you're on a streak. Karen, boy, lots and lots of people are just coming back every day, and I'm loving that. And thank you all. Hello, my dear friend Angela Ricca. But you made it. Colleen and I were chatting about drug prices and Donald Trump and percentages. And yeah, I'll let her tell you in the comments. Good evening, Kevin Young. How are you? Oh, yeah, I thought it was 8:09. No, it's 8:01 and 55 seconds. So you're good. You're good. So at any rate, I thought that I'd start the show off with a throwback, even though it's only Monday. But a throwback Monday. Good evening, Kevin Young. How are you, darling? Yeah, so let's see. Just because it's, I don't know, shits and giggles, I'm gonna put up the picture, and I'm gonna tell you what this is all about. Does everybody remember this? This is Tom Homan, and the man to his left, if you're looking at the screen, is President Barack Obama. And he is getting the Distinguished Service Medal. And that occurred in 2015. And why is he getting the Distinguished Service Medal? Well, for the most deportations ever in the history of America. So, I mean, what do you think about that? Is that fantastic, or is that a kick in the ass? Or I saw that some of the news outlets were trying to say that Trump had the most deportations, and no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. It wouldn't be the deportations; it would be the most deaths of migrants who were criminal migrants who were in custody, and they made it like he had the most, which he didn't. He actually tied. There were as many migrants who died in custody back in the early 2000s as there are today. So they're going to just they're just going to spew their shit, but listen, they're pictures don't lie. History doesn't lie. Hello, Andrew Dorman. Yeah, it's good. He got that medal from Obama, and it was well deserved. And I'm sure he's going to get another one from President Trump. But before we continue on, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Minnesota state capitol and what goes on there, because there what's his name? Oh, Walls. Oh yeah, that's it. Tim. He invited high schoolers there to protest. And boy, oh boy, they were protesting ICE. But lots of things happened. I'm going to show you. Obama had 59 total deaths in ICE custody. Trump 32. Yes. Yeah, very good. Thank you, Colleen. So once again, disingenuous, lying, fake news media. I think it was the Guardian that reported that Trump had the most. However, Trump supposedly had most in a single year. Deaths are medical suicide, violence amongst inmates, not murdered. Uh, but he didn't have the most. I think it was Bush that it was the same, 32 in a year. So you can't say somebody had the most if they don't have the most. It's like saying 1,000,000%, right, Kyle? Hello, Lucille. Good to have you. Good to have you. Anyway, so Tim Walz invited young people from high schools across Minnesota to come and protest at the Capitol to let their voices be heard. Look what happened. Let's see.
We are the next generation that has the opportunity to create change. So let's keep using our voices. Let's keep being loud. To the administration, we hope you see us, we hope you hear us, and realize enough is enough, and get ICE out. Okay guys, quick announcement before we
So there you have it. They weren't even fighting ICE; they were fighting each other. And this was a school trip in the Twin Cities, in the place that supposedly love thy neighbor, love everybody, and they're beating the crap out of each other. Just saying. Memories are short. They sure are. Hi, Susan DeRema. How are you? I'm hoping that YouTube is actually working. I don't know. I just was on there and it didn't look like that was going. I hope it is. If you're on YouTube watching, say something. 1,000,000% increase is fine and dandy. 1,000,000% decrease is non-existent. Lol. Yes, I know. And I'm sure you heard what happened in a church in Minnesota. It was beyond disgraceful. Yes, I did. I heard, I saw. Everything is TDS because he found out about all the corruption in our government, period. Yeah, and you know what? Oh, what is that commercial? Wait, I have somebody trying to get hold of me, but we can't do that right now, unfortunately. Hold on, let's say, I don't even know who that is. Okay. LifeLock, I think it was, had a commercial saying that Americans pay taxes and fraud, and that they're going to get your money back for you. So I thought that was good. So we're going to hear a lot about the fraud if these companies are making hay about it. Finally saw protests for Iran in LA. Oh, really? Okay. Excellent. Brainwashing the youth, 100%. I mean, we saw, there's so many stories out on Fox, not anywhere else. I haven't seen it. On the unions, the teachers unions who are giving money to pro-Palestine organizations, and Mamdani was supporting changing the curriculum to teach about Palestine, be pro-Palestine, anti-Israel. Really scary. The mayor said it's all about love. I guess love has seasons. First, the summer of love, and now the winter of love. Excellent, Debbie. Excellent. I thought states couldn't override the federal government. They can't. They can't override the federal government. They can, but they could get sued. And, if nobody says anything, they can do all kinds of things. But if somebody says something, they've got problems. They can't override a federal government. Their laws, their state law can't override a federal law. Yeah, sure is crazy. Okay, let's see. None of them are old enough to tie their shoes. Yeah. Hi, Leticia Remauro and Colleen Mahoney. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Good to have you. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're here. Oh my God, this is all a disgrace, and these brainwashed fools don't know what they're doing. Nope, they don't. Hello, Gloria. Good to have you. Hello, Billy. I can't answer a call, Billy, while I'm on the air, but thanks for calling. Anyway, I don't know how to answer those calls. Hi. Okay, so Colleen, Tom, Trump is going to lower credit cards to 10% right when I'm about to pay off my final credit card. Story of my life. Oh, gosh. Borrow more. Yeah, I can't do it right now, but I'll do it later. Hi, Tom. Okay, we're cross-talking. I love that. I love that. I love that. I just want, while you're all catching up with one another and loving on each other, I would like to show you and remind you about Minnesota and the state capitol. Not necessarily Tim Walz, but the tolerance of Minnesotians, right? So here we go. Something you may or may not know happened.
Inside the Minnesota State Capitol, just across the hall from the Christmas tree, you'll find this phoenix made out of paper. The elaborate display features a hanging pentagram and several small cranes. A group called Minnesota Satanists put it up, and not everyone's happy about it.
The message that they're sending is quite literally to hell with the sacred.
Republican State Representative Walter Hudson finds the whole thing offensive, especially during the holidays.
You have an intentionally profane display, very obviously intended to thumb a nose at those of us who are celebrating our holiest days.
But Hudson isn't alone. Republican Congressman Tom Emmer asked on social media, is there anything Tim Walz won't do to insult Minnesotans? But Governor Walz has nothing to do with it. Fox 9 obtained the application for the display from the Minnesota Department of Administration. That agency, not the governor, approved it. The governor's office sent us a statement saying he does not agree with the display and did not approve it, but the First Amendment means that he does not police speech in the state capitol.
If there isn't a standard by which to determine what is good and what is bad, then there's no point in us being there.
So he doesn't police speech in the state capitol. Apparently he doesn't police anything, because the crime in Minnesota ain't so good, especially from illegal migrants. Christine Smith and Morado, glad to see you here. Oh, good. How are you, Christine? Good to have you. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Isn't Tim Walz a practicing Satanist? I don't know what his religion is, but I could tell you that he's an asshole. That's all I could say. All right, so here's what I thought we would do today. We'd have a little fun. Let's see. I want to share my screen. Let's see. Yeah, I want to share my screen. I know you hate when I share my screen because you can't see things. Really, really good. But all right, I'm not going to share it right now. I'm going to share it in a minute. But I wanted to show you from this website. It is dhs.gov/wow. If some of you want to follow along on your phone, you can. I want to show you some of Minnesota's violent criminals. Okay, so here you have you have people arrested for homicide, for fraud, of course, for fraud, right? For criminal sexual conduct with a minor. Let's see that one. Which one am I showing you here? These are the people that ICE have arrested, by the way. So interesting. Now I can't remember which one I put up there. What can I remember? Okay. Hang on a second, guys. I'm a little bit of a mess here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. And then here is, oh, that's the same homicide guy. But back down in the bottom, domestic violence. We have aggravated assault with a weapon. We have assault, domestic violence. We have felony smuggling aliens, assault, fraud, larceny, robbery. We have conspiracy to import at least 50K of cocaine, domestic assault, sexual abuse of a minor, theft. Okay, and then we have some in New York too. Here's New York's finest: manslaughter, murder, sexual abuse, cruelty towards a child, indecent exposure, lewd and lascivious acts with a minor. So there's Minnesota and New York. Here's a good guy. Here's a good neighbor. This one is for Texas. Lazario Sebastian Chiroy Thickum, a criminal illegal alien from Guatemala, convicted of sexual assault of a child in Williamson County, Texas. Nice guys, right? Leonel Antonio Carranza Nunez, a criminal illegal alien from Mexico, convicted of continuous sexual abuse of a child in Santa Ana, California. Nice guy. Alejandro Flores Amador, a criminal illegal alien from Mexico, convicted of aggravated assault in Provo, Utah. All right, so it's everywhere. Right? What did they say? Biden made every state a border state. I think that's true. Nerlin Jonathan Perez Amaya, a criminal illegal alien from Honduras, convicted of unlawful electronic sexual communication in Grand Junction, Colorado. And then lastly here, Wilman Rodas Agueta, a criminal illegal alien from Honduras, convicted of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor in Robeson County, North Carolina. There are thousands. Here's ICE worst of worst criminal illegal aliens, including pedophile, sexual deviants, and violent assailants. 70% of ICE arrests are of criminals charged with or convicted of a crime in the United States. You can see it on the website. I'm happy to pop up the website and we can decide what states we want to look at together in the chat. But that's what's going on. That's our neighbors. Those are the people that Renee Good died for. I'm trying to understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Leticia, those are the love criminals of Minnesota. Yeah. It's heartbreaking that woman lost her life for one of them. Freedom of religion with respect without negative influence or coercion. Sometimes things aren't what it looks. Listen, I agree to freedom of religion. It's just, that's a little tough in the state capitol. There was a Christmas tree. You couldn't have a crush in the state capitol. They wouldn't let you put Mary, baby Jesus, and Joseph in the state capitol. They barely let them put a Christmas tree up, but the satanic situation they allowed. What? No Americans on the list? Yeah, Tom. No, no Americans, because that's ICE's worst of the worst list. And as much as they like to say that, we're arresting and deporting Americans, and possibly it happened to Obama. It happens to every president that people are going to get swept up. Because usually, right, if somebody's coming over the border illegally, they're doing it because they have family here. So, it can happen. Don't harbor illegals. And you won't get deported. No mistakes will be made. And nobody can say that nobody's ever going to make mistakes. People make mistakes all the time. You can't, if the federal government was perfect, nobody would, mind socialism, right? Nobody would mind having the government in control of everything. But nothing, I mean, the federal government, the government of any government is the least perfect thing. And I'm sorry, we could always bring a deported American home, but try and find a criminal illegal alien who a whole bunch of lunatic Minnesotans are protecting. Go ahead, try it. And try and do it without hurting somebody. Not easy. My argument with all of these anti-ICE people is that no one American would be detained or injured if the illegal self-deported. That's true. But you know what? Here's the other thing. They don't want chaos. So what ICE was doing and what ICE does do in the states that cooperate is they go when someone is arrested, a criminal illegal alien, or someone who is an illegal alien and not yet a citizen, when they're arrested for assault or whatever, and they have their day in court and they're convicted of the crime, the local police department actually informs ICE that, today's the day, hearing whatever verdict. If the person is found guilty, deport them, right? And so then they could just go in there and deport them easily enough. Nobody's harmed. Nobody's running, right? Because if they were found guilty, they are going to be remanded to prison. But instead of paying for a cot and 3 squares from the American citizens, we give them a one-way ticket back to their country because they're a criminal. That is what ICE is doing. Now, sometimes, did they come over with their wife and kids and all are illegal? Yeah. And maybe one, maybe dad or mom is the criminal who's convicted, while they can all go home with dad. What's going to happen when they get to Mexico or Guatemala or Venezuela or wherever they came from? I don't know. Will they put them in jail there? I don't know. But it's not our problem, right? Not our problem. They're not going looking to see what everybody's papers are. They're not going looking and saying, hey, show me your papers right now. That's not what's happening. And if it is happening, it's only happening because people are coming up to them, giving them grief. But they have a predestined location because they know that the person was convicted and then sent home, waiting for hearing or waiting for sentencing or whatever that is. They know that because they follow that. And that's how they go and they pick up the criminal illegal aliens. And it should be nice and easy like that. If they put the protest money from around the country to legal fees for legal entry, they would change lives and save lives. But they want chaos to hurt Trump. That is a great idea. And it's a great comment. That would be true. And the other 30% was with the 70% arrested. They're people who might not be criminals, but they're part of the family, part of their whatever, in the house with them. Where is the left who screamed about the Epstein files now released and the Clintons refusing to testify? Crickets. Because they're bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. It's all about, let's throw it against the wall, see what sticks. It's all about the midterm elections. It's all about riling up the base to try to win the midterm elections so that we could get rid of Trump and the Republicans. And once they do, that's it. I don't see they're going to start changing all kinds of laws and everything else. It's not going to be pretty. There is no headlines out there about anything but Minnesota. Right. That's because that is what our fake news media does. So let's see. We're going to share screen a little bit. Share screen. It's this one. So this is what the website looks like. And you can put in anything here. You could say murder, rape, child. You put it in here, and you can have any state, and then you hit search, and it will it'll bring you back to people who have done things, what you search: child, convicted sex assault, neglect, child molestation of a minor, battery, sex offense against the child, fondling, assault, burglary, forced entry, residence. This is Florida. This one is Brooklyn and Connecticut. This one is convicted of battery, threat, terroristic state offenses, false imprisonment, simple assault, cruelty towards a child. Louisiana. Let's see. This one doesn't have a place. He's from Afghanistan. Sexual battery, child fondling, but it doesn't say where he was arrested. Oh, maybe there's more. Let's say, I don't know. Oh, here he is. Released into our country by the Biden administration. Okay, so this is interesting, right? So today, U.S. Immigration and Customs, what day was this? December 4th, 2025. Enforcement highlighted the arrest of some of the worst criminals, aliens released into the country, unvetted by the Biden administration. So this guy was unvetted. And his name is Kezmat Din Zafran. Criminal alien who entered the U.S. under Operation Allies Refugee in September 2021. His criminal history includes a conviction for lewd or lascivious acts with a minor under 16. This is the one we were looking at. October 2nd, 2025, ICE arrested Mansour Walzaldo, a criminal alien who entered the U.S. under Operation Allies Refuge in 2021. His criminal history includes 2 convictions of sexual battery and arrest for child fondling. This guy, on June 8th, ICE arrested Mohammed Tabesh Razoli, a criminal alien who entered the U.S. under Operation Allies Refuge in 2021. His criminal history includes a conviction for hit and run, leaving the scene, serious bodily harm. Okay, and it just goes on. So that's we just let them in the country, and ICE is trying to get rid of them. And thousands of Americans have been maimed or killed or molested, raped. They have been harmed because of these criminal illegal aliens. And the fact that states like Minnesota and New York and California are not cooperating with ICE. I mean, why? I mean, put it this way. If they did cooperate, ICE would have no reason to be in that state doing anything but hanging out by, the courthouses, right? So what the fuck? What the fuck? What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's say, another summer of love. Yeah, as Debbie said, winter of love now, right? Hi, Sal. Good to have you. Good evening. Every week there's a protest across the street from my congressperson's office. I live right around the corner. It's so silly. I like what Colleen said, invest the money and help them get their citizenship. They're still saying to release the rest of the files, though. They only care about Trump. Like 100K files already released. Doubt they've read them all. They haven't. And they've decided that there's something about Trump. It's just going to get them into deeper hot water. Colleen Mahoney, if they had anything on Trump, they would have hung him already in 2016. Yeah, in 2016 and 2020, they've been keeping these files a secret because they are afraid of the Democrats who are implicated in them. They're building a racetrack, truck stop around the corner from me, and ICE scooped up 3 busloads of illegals, and there was only 5 people that were not violent criminals. Holy shit, really? Only 5? That's crazy stuff. Chaos is not going to hurt Trump, only the Democrats, because Americans know what Democrats and rhinos are doing. Kevin, I hope you're right. I don't have as much faith in Americans. My chair is going lower as I'm sitting here, which is why there's more space above my head. This is funny, but only on Let's Talk News, right? Kevin, I just don't know anymore. Americans, we have a short attention span. So it's like what they heard last that they're going to remember. That's the problem. So we have to have some good news. And that good news is going to have to be, 1,000% reduction of prescription drugs or, reducing food costs and increasing salaries as we're seeing is happening. Liberalism is a mental disorder. I understand that people want to help other people, not with their own money, of course, and not with their own time. They want other people to do it. That's just how it is, right? But yeah, we need to be realistic. There's not every migrant is poor. Not every migrant, whether they speak English or not, is stupid. They're not ignorant. The left thinks they are, but they're not. I've said it over and over again. To get into this country, I laughed at the 100% because Colleen and I are arguing whether, about Trump saying he was going to reduce drug costs by 500% or something like that. I know exactly what he was talking about because they went up, like thousands of percent, and he wants to back it down. But there is no such thing as 500% decrease, as Colleen pointed out. But let's get back to what we were talking about. The fact that the left believes that somehow or another these migrants are all kind-hearted and good and are here only because they want a better life is crazy. Because when you live in socialism and in impoverished places, the chances that you're going to get the money or the gumption or the resources to get here are very, very slim. But there are people that do it, and I give them lots of kudos because these are people that are fearless. And some of them might be escaping criminal activity there that they have repented for and have straightened out. Who knows? But the fact is, if you commit a criminal act in this country and you're not a citizen, get the fuck out. Why are we paying for anything? Democrats are sorry they got no power, no money now, and all they do is constantly fight against us with their brainwashed people. Might be time to fight back. Yeah, it's going to happen. Definitely. I do have hope. I hope we have a trash can big enough for this trash. Yeah, I don't know if we do. Sal and Grace Monforti. Sal, the podcast is 8 to 8:30. Oh, well, thank you very much. And now it is 8:32 and 58 seconds. So that means I'm over again. I want to thank you all for playing along. Again, dhs.gov/WOW. If you want to see all the migrants picked up, there are thousands, and DHS puts them all on their website. I would suggest you take a snapshot of some of them and post them. And if we all do that every day, maybe we can change the narrative. So dhs.gov/WOW. Take a snapshot with all the information, post it to your Facebook once a day. Pick a guy. There's actually some girls in there too. Okay. Love you all. See you tomorrow.